Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It is me once again screaming into the void of the internet. Just got off work, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make something. You know something, man? I'm telling you something right now. I really just cannot get along with chicks. You know, I'm just being dead ass serious, dude. You know, I grew up in a house with all siblings who were females, like talking 5 chicks, 1 guy. Even in the situation that I'm in now with like roommates with like all these freaking chicks, like I cannot do it, man. I just can't. I can't. You know. And also, I kind of want to talk about something. I hate when people try and say that they want to help you, but then they realize that it's not going to be convenient to help, and so they just get upset about it. And my thing is this, like, are you aware that helping someone means that you are not the center of the attention, the center of the scenario? You have to put yourself, second, at least, to help someone else. And you would think that this would be common knowledge if you're going to say you're going to choose to help someone. Now, if you can't help somebody, then the simple answer that you do is you just say, no, I can't help, right? Instead, you got a lot of people, especially chicks, in this scenario, where like they'll say, oh, I can help, but they do it mainly as like a virtue signal. They don't really believe that they can help. They just say it as a virtue signal, and then when they see it's kind of tough, they want to get all pissy about it. Essentially what started this was I've essentially been given the people who take me to work, my schedule, right? And the chick who drops me off tried to get pissy with me, saying that, oh, you got to let me know like right away. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, listen, lady, I literally sent you my entire schedule. You know what days I go in, you know what days I'm in. If you see me dressed, I'm not sitting here because I'm just trying to look pretty or something. It's obvious that I need you to take me. But at the end of the day, it's fine because I should be getting paid soon. So like from now on, I'm literally just gonna catch Ubers to work, and I'll just get a ride home, because there's no point of freaking asking some dumb arse that really doesn't want to help, for help. And it's mainly, I'm just going to be honest here, and I don't give a rat's ass if someone wants to call me misogynistic and stuff. It's really just mainly because it's a female. I don't give a rat's ass. They have no idea how to put someone, you can't tell me somebody, listen, if you couldn't tell anybody, you couldn't tell me. As somebody who has, again, had 5 sisters, been in situations where there were like 7 women in the house to like maybe 2 men, tops, right? You cannot tell me this and say that I'm wrong. They do not know how to put themselves in a scenario, where they are not first. Now, yeah, that's something that people in general are guilty of, like where, they want to be in the center of the attention and they want everything to revolve around them. But if you want to talk about who has it worse, 100% females do. That's not even close. It's not even close. So, considering that little attitude, I'm just like, all right, listen, I'm just going to catch Ubers, and then someone could just pick me up. You know what I mean? And someone could just pick me up. I'm also going to go ahead and consider getting like a freaking bike again. I know I said I wasn't, but I'll take my chances, because I'd rather freaking get hit by a freaking car or something than deal with somebody who's going to make it seem like it's a big problem. Because listen, you are under no obligation to help me. I understand it. Trust me. I'm a very accountable person. If you've been listening to me for a minute, I'm an accountable person. But if it's that big of a problem, if you want to get that pissy about it, then I'll to go ahead and take my chances riding on a freaking highway where average cars are going 50 miles an hour. And if I get freaking backwinded or tailwinded by one of these cars and I lose control and die, whatever, that's certainly a quicker solution to all of the bullcrap that I got to deal with putting up with these cocksuckers. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that as like I'm mad or something. I just say that because it's very irritating to me if someone offers to do something and then they start getting pissed about it because, again, they realize it's not convenient. And it's not like, I don't freaking pay it back, because I've been, as I've been waiting on this check to come, like I was going to like, buy him some gas, maybe treat him out to a meal and say I appreciate him. But if you're going to get all pissy, yeah, F that, like, F it. And, I'll just go ahead and catch rides, and it just is what it is at this point. I'm over here putting in like freaking 50 hours and stuff like that. So when I get this check, it should be pretty good. And I'll just suck it up. And, if I got a freaking ride, like a bike to work, like freaking 40 minutes in advance or something, hey, that's fine. I get up at like freaking 5:40 because I actually give a rat's arse about my job. So, yeah, Because listen, these chicks don't understand that not everybody lives in a world where someone is just dying to come freaking do everything for you because you got pussy. I hate to break it to you, but like guys actually have to bust their balls and, you know, labor and toil and essentially be a goddamn pack mule in order to get what they need to get. But that's something that they don't understand, and they'll never understand that because they don't live in that. Listen, it doesn't really feel, personally, like guys and gals live in the same world. Like, the same rules just do not apply. Whether it be in court, whether it be in, you know, day-to-day interactions, the same rules just don't apply. So I can't really expect them to understand. There's no point of really asking them to understand. You know what I mean? There's no point of asking because they can't wrap their head around it. Like, I can't wrap my head around it, you know? Imagine literally just existing and just having people want to do favors for you. Just because you look mildly attractive. Not attractive, just mildly attractive. You know, just mildly. I can't imagine that, you know? I can't imagine that. But they can, and they take advantage of that every day, you know? They do. But I don't want to, like, necessarily make it all about that. But since I'm on the topic, you know, I kind of want to talk about gender dynamics real quick for a second. And no, it's not one of these channels because, like, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I have no desire to be talking about these things because it doesn't bother me. A lot of these guys have gotten convinced that they need to be so concerned in these freaking gender dynamics topics, and that's all they breathe and talk about, and they talk about how their life's over because they're uggos and stuff like that. I don't give a rat's arse, man. I have more important crap to worry about than pussy. Like I've said a long while back when I was still in Miami, in one of my earlier vids that actually is a bit more popular on my channel, I just pay. I don't give a rat's arse. And no matter how much these guys want to convince themselves that, oh, I wouldn't be paying if I was beautiful, if I was Chad and Tyrone pays too. I hate to break it to you. They all pay. It's just they pay differently. You just get a discount. That's all it really boils down to. He gets it a lot more, but he pays in his own way. The fact of the matter is those gals want him to commit. And say if he wants to string them around, and yeah, he's got to do a little song and dance for him. Maybe he's got to take him out a little bit, but at the end of the day, all he really gets is a discount. Everyone pays. But what I wanted to talk about with the whole dynamics is mainly just this, right? It's mainly just this. I know I said it before. I'm kind of going to go ahead and elaborate on it. I genuinely do not think, personally, that I can really, realistically be attracted to chicks long term. And before you want to get slick, you little cocksuckers, listen. No, I'm not a fruit bowl or forgot. No. What I mean is, I cannot really bond with someone who is so vain and pretentious as to feel as though they are entitled to basically my blood, sweat, and tears merely because they were born, you know, XX. I can't really personally see myself, you know, like with someone long term because of that. The snarkiness, the attitude, there's no getting around that. You know, all these gals will say, oh, well, I just want a guy to love me. And here's a guy that, again, you know, like, might not check every box, but he checks quite a few boxes. And does she give that guy a chance? No. Does she have to? Obviously, no. But the point that I'm trying to make here is this. Even when they try and act like they're honest, 100%, you know, like they're modest or something, they will not give those guys a chance. And if they do, let's be real, the main thing that they give a chance for is moolah. And listen, there are some guys that are comfortable with that. That's why they say, you know, like, chase money, not love, and love will find you. But, like, they don't realize how much they're snitching on themselves with that. That's not freaking love. That's gold diggers. Those are cocksuckers that feel like they're supposed to just get your resources. You're supposed to bust your balls, you know, work your arse to the death, dang near, right? Put in sometimes your 15-hour shift. Freaking manager was just telling me that sometimes he puts in 15 hours here, like when everyone's calling out, right? And how fitting that, again, the main people calling out, hate to break it to you guys, is the females. Yes. Main people calling out, yeah. Puts in 15 hours and someone else just feels entitled to it. So I could not really see myself long term. At the most, I'll be honest, I just see them the same way that they see guys, you know, like, as an object. Sorry, not sorry. You know, you can think that that's effed up, but hey, I don't really know what's worse, because listen, they make it seem like sex is a chore when they don't, air quotes, like you, right? But sex is pleasurable on both ends. But it's a chore when they don't like you. But if, again, a handsome guy compliments them, oh, it's awesome, you know? So you better believe that if I'm an ATM, you a sex object. You just a tool that I use to jack off the freaking, get off. That's it. And I'll be honest, like, realistically speaking, guys, it ain't all that. It really isn't all that. I know some guys make it seem like it's everything. I don't feel better than someone because I've done it, like, I really don't. I've never understood that crap. Oh, yeah, I'm not a virgin. No crap, jackass. Anyone could go lose that crap. Loose as these freaking gals are. And even if you couldn't, in the so-called game way, the more expensive way than just paying for it directly, guess what? Once you pay for it, whoop-de-freaking-doo-dah, you don't got it. I get what guys really want is love because we have been brainwashed to believe that love actually exists. And all I can really tell you is love is really just what humans call love, at least, is just like, again, feelings and hormones that are just designed to get you to breathe. That's pretty much all it is. If you are thinking about love like the romantic love that you're talking about in fairy tale movies, I can tell you what that is. That's not freaking feelings. That's a choice. Love is a choice. That kind of love is a choice. The best way I could explain it is imagine your best friend, your absolute best bro, right? But instead of your bro, that's your gal. And you look out for each other, again, even when it's not convenient. And that, again, is a choice. You choose to bond with this person. You choose to look out for them, even when it is not easy or convenient for you to do. At that point, that's a choice. You choose to stay committed. You choose to look out for each other. That's a choice. But people these days, considering that they are, again, just riddled with choice, riddled with options, no one whoop-de-freaking-doo-dah is committing anymore. No one, And personally, like I said, in my opinion, I don't know if it's for the better or the worse. But at the end of the day, it has given us a dilemma. But when we are presented with dilemmas, you know what we do? We solve them. Freaking dirt bike at this hour. Wonderful. We solve them. We solve those dilemmas. And hands down, like, the best way that I'd honestly advise guys who are serious about that crap is straight up, if you have to have a family, look into surrogacy. If you have to have a family, look into surrogacy. That will guarantee that kid's yours. You can't get divorced, raped, alimony, nothing. Look into surrogacy. If you need the chick, you really just gotta suck it up and consider the passport. I'm just being dead arse on it. You have to go somewhere where you have better laws, and there you go. Because for me, I just go ahead and just go to a parlor every now and again, I haven't been to one in quite a bit of time because finances. But that's what I do. And it's fine, because like I said, I can't really freaking bond to these gals. I don't really even find, like I said, I don't really find them attractive long term. I can't look at them the same after, like, how they view you, I can't just sit around here and lie and tell myself that this person loves me and they mean I love you, when realistically speaking, if you want the quickest way to prove how quick someone, if you really want to see somebody love you, go ahead and say you lost your job or something. Watch. You'll see. You'll see how quick they love you then. Say you lost your job or something. Again, put yourself in a position where it's not convenient anymore. Watch how fast it changes. I know this firsthand. I know this. But hey, listen, like I said, I'm fine with it. I said in a video or two ago that, for me, that wasn't really anything different than Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the monster under the bed, the boogeyman, all that crap. That's all that was to me. And I could take the blinders off. Because listen, if it's hard to say just find a good friend, not an associate, a good friend, think about how hard it is, again, to find someone who actually cares about you. Who's going to stand by you. In the realm of romance. Because with romance, you leave the door open to betrayal, like, way larger. And you just have to trust that they're not going to betray you. So, yeah. But, I'm a little bit tired. And the funny thing is, guess what? It's like, it's nearing 2 a.m. And I gotta come back to this crap at 8 a.m. Oh, yeah. Gotta come back to this crap at 8 a.m. in the freaking morning. But you know what? It's all good, guys. I don't care. Because I'm putting in these hours, and at the end of the day, I'm benefiting, I'm just waiting on when I get my next freaking check. And like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and cut ties with the whole getting a ride from these people, if in the morning at least, you know, because if they're gonna act that pissy, if you're gonna give me that kind of attitude, all right, that's fine. You don't have to by any means, you know. So I'll go ahead and pay for it. Call it a day, you know. So honestly, this pissy attitude couldn't have came at a better time, considering that I'm about to get paid. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. Get ready, head to bed. Maybe I'll post this either before I go to sleep or in the morning. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Seriously, I hope you guys are hanging in there. I know I'm over here putting in my hours and stuff like that. So like I said, guys, I'm not the strongest guy in the room. I don't got it all together. I don't got all the plans, but I'm making a way. And if I'm making a way in my crappy situation, I know that you guys can too. I know that you guys can too. So hang in there, boys. We got to keep fighting together. God bless. I will see you guys next time.